Hello everyone. As I speak, in Nepal, there is complete chaos. Close to 9 people, have been killed in protests, and this was meant to happen. I'm sure those who have been listening to me, they would have known this earlier. I have said this earlier that any country which is pro China around India and outside India, Indian subcontinent, they've all been taken down and there has been a regime change there. For example, Myanmar, then Bangladesh, then there was, of course, there was Sri Lanka, then there was Maldives, and then of course you'll see similar things happening in Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, and then of course there are islands closer to Australia where the same regime change is happening, and or at least protests are happening. Any country which is pro China with a pro China regime is seeing a change, and so is Nepal. I'm not sure if whoever is doing the regime change will be able to bring the king, if they'll be able to bring back the king, the Nepali king, the existing king, to power. But one thing's for sure, China, anything that China touches and anything that China has control over, it'll keep losing them over next 2 years. And I do not know how many of you have seen that video on 2027 being the deadline before which China would have um, would have lost a lot of its allies, and I do expect a massive war or chaos inside China by 2027. 2027 is also the time when China says it will take over Taiwan. Well, that will be used as an excuse by West to drag China into a war, is what I ultimately believe. It can be a war, it can be a chaos, it can be a civil war like situation. You see Xinjiang, Tibet area. I'm sure you would have noticed that Tibet remains in headlines a lot more than it used to 5 years ago. So what is happening? Everything related to China is crumbling, and you might resonate with this another 2 years down the lane.